Students, good morning. In previous lecture, we were introduced about the transportation in higher animals and broadly discussed about the main parts that are consist to form the circulatory system of a human. So, we were studying about the vascular system, blood vessels and heart. Now here going to discuss in more detail about the vascular system of the human. Students, the fluid that flow into the blood vessels are known as vascular fluid. These fluids are fluid connective tissue. Yes, students, as I was told you that these are the kind of tissues which are grouped into connective tissue and are fluid in nature, they have ability of flow. So these flow inside the tube that is called blood vessels, and due to fluidity nature, these are called vascular fluid. The fluid, blood vessels and heart comprises a system which is called the vascular system in human and other higher animals. Students, this system helps in the passage of the food, minerals and gases. It means oxygen and carbon dioxide from the lungs to different cells, tissues, organs, as well as also helps in transportation of nitrogenous waste substances from each and every cells, tissues and organs. So students, these collective form of the composite work is allied into the vascular system and also the part of the transport or circulatory system. Here, the vascular system has following two main types of fluid. What are the two types of fluid? The first one is the blood and second one is the lymph. Now today we are going to discuss about the blood. What is blood? Blood is a kind of fluid connective tissue. As I was told you that this is a kind of fluid connective tissue. Is that clear? Fluid connective tissue. The blood is opaque. It means the light cannot pass through them, or very least amount of light can pass across the blood cells. Viscous, slightly viscous in nature, alkaline fluid of the salty taste. Students, either the pH of the blood is more than 7 it means about 7.2 to 7.4, but it is slightly salty in taste due to presence of various kind of inorganic salts. It is a little heavier than the water. It is little heavier than the water. In an adult man weighing about 70 kg, their body contains 5 to 6 liters of blood. How much? 5 to 6 liters of blood. It means approx 1/13 part of the total body weight. Is that clear? If a person of 70 kg weight, then you go to divide or multiply 1/13, then you find about 5.5 liter. The 5 is consecutively 5.3 consecutively goes. Hence, it also depends upon the health of the person. If he not suffer from any kind of iron deficiency disease or weakness, then about 5 to 6 liters of blood present in their body. Is that clear? Now, blood is consist of two parts. Blood is also consist of two parts. What are that? The first one is the plasma, and second one is the corpuscles or blood cells. What? Corpuscles are blood cells. So what is plasma? Plasma forms about 90% total part of the blood, whereas the corpuscles form about 10% part of the total blood. But here, first going to study about the plasma. Plasma is slightly yellowish. It means 90% part contain water and 10% part contains the essential types of proteins that constitute the structure of RBCs, WBCs and platelets. There are three types of blood corpuscles. Is that clear? So plasma is slightly yellowish in color. Alkaline fluid, as I was told you that its pH value is about 7.2 to 7.4. That's why it is alkaline. It means basic in nature, and forms about 55% part of the blood. The plasma forms 55% part of the blood, and plasma contain about 90% water. Is that clear? It contains 90% water, and remaining 10% contains fat, lipid, amino acid, proteins. Proteins like creatine, creatinine, immunoglobulin, globulin, like many types of proteins are present in the hematine, hemoglobin. These type of proteins are present in the plasma. And in organic substances like oxygen, carbon dioxide, water either forms about 90% part of the plasma. Salts of phosphates, sulfates, carbonate and citrates are also present in the plasma. Now, going to discuss about the corpuscles or blood cells. Then, three types of blood corpuscles or cells are present as mentioned in previous lecture. RBCs, WBCs and platelets. Platelets. Is that clear? Red blood corpuscles or red blood cells, which are also called erythrocytes. WBCs, white blood corpuscles, are cells called leukocytes, and platelets are thrombocytes. These are the three types of blood cells. Here we are going to discuss about the red blood corpuscles in more detail in this lecture. The red blood corpuscles are biconcave. It means the both sides or both surfaces of the blood cells, it just appears biconcave in shape. It means the central part is compressed and the peripheral part are just somewhat swollen. In primordial or primitively developing RBCs, the nucleus is present either in mammals also, but during maturity the nucleus inside the RBCs get disintegrate. Thus we can say that the mammals RBCs are denucleated. The denucleated means absence of nucleus or non-nucleated. Is that clear? At maturity. Per ml of the blood sample contains 45 to 55 lakhs of blood cells in human. In man, 55 lakhs of the RBCs present in per ml of blood, whereas in women it is somewhat lower than the male. It means 45 lakhs per ml in females, which are healthy and are normal health. It means they are not suffering from any kind of disease. Okay? Lifespan of RBC. The lifespan of RBC is regarded as 120 days. How much days? 120 days is the lifespan of the RBCs. Either in some books also published 125 days, both are correct, but according to NCERT it is of about 120 days only. The RBCs contain a red color pigment which is called hemoglobin. What? Hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is also known as respiratory pigment because it helps in the process of gaseous exchange by combining with the oxygen and carbon dioxide. When hemoglobin combined with oxygen, it forms oxyhemoglobin, and when it combined with the carbon dioxide, it forms carbaminohemoglobin. Thus, this pigment helps in the process of transportation of gases in human as well as other animals. What is the content of hemoglobin? The hemoglobin is consists of following two parts. The first part is heme and second part is globulin. Heme, it means hematine. Hematine is a respiratory pigment and contain iron. It forms about 95% part of the hemoglobin. That's why it easily combined with the oxygen, because the oxygen helps in combine with any iron body, or you can say that oxygen easily with any kind of metal like iron makes oxide like ferric oxide. Rusting in the iron particles due to this reaction. It not only absorbs the moisture but also helps in reacting with the oxygen to form metallic oxide very easily. So, the presence of iron in hemoglobin helps in easy capitation to transport it for the process of cellular respiration. And the second part is the globulin, which forms about only 5% part of the total hemoglobin. It is a kind of protein that is also a type of cofactor or cofactor protein. Here iron is a cofactor and this is a protein. That's why we kept hemoglobin as a quaternary type of protein. The proteins are mainly of four types: primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary. So, hemoglobin is a type of quaternary protein because the four iron ions combine with the globulin proteins to form a quaternary type of structure. That's why this is called a kind of quaternary protein, and thus the hemoglobin easily helps in the transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide gas in animal and hence called respiratory pigments. In next video lecture, we are going to discuss about the WBC in more detail. Thanks students for joining today's lecture.